that the Atlanta Dream has a player, Allisha Gray. Oh, she's butthurt. Actual, like, the real good CHARMIN, like maybe ultra soft with the aloe vera action. I got to tell you, these WNBA players, I'm fixing to start calling them CHARMIN. That's what you WNBA players are. Because it seems that they cannot handle sports fans.
What happens when fans heckle a WNBA star and the players can't handle it? That's exactly what went down when a Fever fan called out Allisha Gray for flopping. But here's the twist, her reaction didn't just stay on the court, it lit up an entire debate about whether today's WNBA players are too soft. This isn't just about one game. It's about what kind of culture the league wants to promote, and what happens when fans refuse to play by those rules.
And if you're a flopper, which, by the way, I'm hearing that's what the fan got on Allisha Gray about, was flopping. Too bad you've got regular sports fans all up in this league now. And you know what they do? They heckle. Serial flopper, and she got butt hurt. She got her feelings hurt. Couldn't cope.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine a packed arena, the crowd buzzing, tension riding high, and then one voice cuts through all the noise. A single fan yells out a phrase so sharp it flips the mood of the game instantly.
I kid you not. Actually, they want this guy like fired from his job. And now you've got a legion of fans, woke-ass WNBA fans, that are now targeting this fan. Allisha Gray doesn't bother anyone. I effing hate the Indiana Fever racist-ass fan base. There's only one racist here, and it ain't the Fever fans.
That's what happened when a Fever supporter decided to call out Allisha Gray. It wasn't drawn-out heckling. It wasn't constant trash talk. It was one pointed call that landed right in the middle of a heated moment, and from the instant those words were shouted, something shifted. You could feel the energy change, and you could see the ripple on Gray's face as she tried to shake it off. The phrase was simple: stop flopping. That's it. 2 words, but they carried so much weight. In the middle of a physical game, where every bump and foul matters, being called a flopper isn't just about that one play.
Ding, 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 you just got racist. And get his socials and his job, and get him fired. I'll never like that team. Y'all please find that white, funky bitch over some standard operating procedure sports heckling. They want this fan terminated from whatever employment he's got.
It's about your reputation. In basketball, when you're labeled as someone who exaggerates contact, it discredits your toughness. It questions your integrity. And if you followed Gray's career, you know this isn't the first time she's been under that lens. She's been accused before of selling fouls too hard, throwing herself to the ground in ways that fans thought didn't look natural. So for Gray, this wasn't just a fan being annoying. It felt personal, like those same whispers she's heard for years, now echoed directly in her face.
And Gray couldn't handle it. We all saw her walk off the court last night looking over. These are the fans, and some have said that it was actually the guy's wife that was heckling Gray. And I'm like, oh yeah, they heckling you? It's called heckling. Get over it. It's what sports fans do.
Now, here's where it gets wild. This wasn't just a throwaway jab that disappeared into the crowd noise. The Fever fans' shout was so loud, so clear, that players reacted. The officials glanced over. Even people watching the stream at home picked up on it. And when an insult like that sticks, it doesn't just fade away, it follows the player. Gray shook her head, tried to wave it off, but fans in the building caught the moment and ran with it. By the fourth quarter, flop chants were bouncing around, hammering the same idea over and over again, almost like the crowd wanted to test her composure. We've seen this before in sports. Remember when fans rode LeBron after what they claimed were dramatic falls? Or when soccer players in the World Cup got mocked worldwide for rolling around after light contact? Those are moments that blow up because they cross from gameplay to image, and once a player gets painted with that brush, it's hard to wash off. For Gray, who has tried to establish herself as a tough, reliable scorer and defender, having that narrative resurface in front of her home crowd made the sting even sharper.
I'm waiting for Gray to come out and say, the racist fans of the Indiana Fever. I'm waiting for that. By the way, they threw them out, and then they let them back in. Good job, Indiana. You're not even playing. You're not even out there playing. You're worried about this fan. That is some of the most unprofessional athlete behavior I've ever seen.
It wasn't just playful banter, it reopened a debate about who she is as a competitor. And of course, people divided immediately. Some said the fan was just keeping it real, calling out what everyone else was already thinking, holding Gray accountable in the way fans always have. Others saw it as cruel, targeted, and unnecessary. They argued that heckling should never go beyond cheering against the other team. But sports culture thrives on those blurred lines. Trash talk is accepted until someone feels it goes too far, then suddenly it sparks entire conversations about respect. For Gray, the history adds another layer.
Allisha Gray, one of the most unbothered players in the WNBA, baller just wants to play, get her money, and drink her tea. What are you doing? You're ignoring the basketball, which, judging by your performance, you ignored it all night long. Fans are going to heckle. Fans are going to get on these players. Welcome to the new WNBA. Yeah.
She's had games before where analysts broke down her fouls frame by frame. She's faced questions in pressers about whether she overplays contact. So when that fan's words cut across the arena, it wasn't just an isolated insult. It clicked with everything she's been accused of and made it feel way heavier than it might for another player hearing the same comment. It probably felt like her whole resume was being reduced to a stereotype in front of thousands of eyes. But here's the part nobody expected. Dream fans didn't just rally to protect her during the game. They carried it into the digital world. By the next morning, clips were everywhere, slowed down, zoomed in, with captions calling out the heckler. Some even dug into who the fan was, mocking him online and throwing shade back at the Fever. It went from one loud voice in the building to an army of voices on social media turning that guy into the villain of the night. And that's where you saw how personal this had become.